Testing, 1, 2, 3. I think you can hear me. This is really low. I'm gonna pick it up. So like right there. It's a louder mix. Hello. My name is Your Mother, or Your Mother 9000. And what I do is I produce music. I didn't want that to shut up. I produce music, I create covers, and I make music with people that I deem that are cool, my friends, just all around really talented people that I would really like to work with. Um, and today, what we are doing is mixing some vocals. And unlike the last vocal mixing stream, we're gonna go and deep dive a little bit deeper as to what that, like, what goes behind that. Um, so for example, like, all of these are not stereo, they're not panned, they're all mono right now. They're all down the middle. All these vocals. Um, and today we're gonna be hopefully be working with a little bit of everything. Um, in regards to gang vocals, clean and screaming gang vocals, and as well as, excuse me, clean and screaming vocals. Um, the vocalist for this cover is Memoria, or Momoria, but I think it's Memoria. I call her Momo. Um, Absolute crack singer. Um, Literally one of the best to do it, I would say. Um, and I will be linking her YouTube channel here. Um, so she will be the guest clean vocalist for this cover. And yeah, so let me go ahead and put like one last voice bus for everything, and just put everything under that because that's important. Okay. Okay. So I think we should uh get started with the screams first and foremost. I think those are going to be the easier ones to tackle. Um yeah, so let's go ahead and try that out. This is what we've got. I'm going to mute this. I'm going to mute everything else first. We're going to focus on these main screams. So this is me.
Go digging nor regret. No more acting, no innocent. Playing with fire. To the moon. Close to the power that we crave. No more thinking where heaven sent. Break through the choir.
These are my vocals. So it will be me and Momo on this track. And yeah, let's get to it. So first thing, I already see that was about to go in. Let's knock this down a little bit and try to match the volume of where we would like that. The first thing I usually do is I compress it with this compressor, gain reduction from JST. I literally just put it on and I don't do anything after that usually for my vocals. Yeah, at least for like compressing my vocals. It's an absolute monster. It's just built differently. The compression, the amount it gives is just perfect, which is an absurd amount. So let's go ahead and work on this.
No more acting, no innocent. To the blood. No more thinking where heaven sent. With no better use. Should we all give us strength, give us room, give us blood.
Okay, I think I'm gonna try to do it here. The goal is to kind of have it buried in between, not buried, but like in between those guitars. And I don't want it to be too low nor poking out too much. So I'm trying really hard to balance that. Try minus 17 dB. Okay, I think that sounds good. Okay, so we're gonna go over here and we're gonna EQ it a little bit.
Go for blood! No more acting all innocent! Kill the blood! Go for blood!
I'm gonna gate this because there's something going on. That low. I don't know. I can hear it, and you probably can too. So let's go ahead and figure that out real quick.
No! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent! Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent!
I think that's good.
Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent! Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent! Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent! Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent! Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent! Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent!
I think it sounds okay like that. I just needed to brighten up just a little bit more.
Go for blood! No more acting all innocent!
Yeah, I think that sounds okay. From there, here. I don't know everything in the world, so I like to follow processes that are already established. So, for example, Howard Benson vocals. I like the way the process is for this. So multiplier and then width. So let's see. I'm not gonna use a multiplier, but I will use like a width sort of deal. Twist head. Or actually, let's just use it. Why don't I use Howard Benson vocals for screaming? I mean, you could, but I like the way this compressor works. I really like how it works. Uh, and then we'll just EQ it a little bit from there, but that's about it. That's all there is to it. I like this compressor specifically for screams.
Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent! Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent!
It's getting like it's just a subtle hint of that, but I think that's good.
Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent! Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent!
Again, ever so slightly at like 17.5%.
Kill the blood! Go for blood!
And then from here, oh yeah, let's look at with the limiting that's on this thing.
No more acting all innocent! Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent! Kill the blood!
Okay, cool. Go for tape or soothe. Let's go for soothe first. Oh, I forgot. This literally has like stuff inside of it. Just give me 1 second. Ah, I'll use it. So what my approach is right now is we're really gonna dial in on that S. I think it does a really good job of catching that in this word. So let's go ahead and try it out. I like that. I'm gonna put some tape on there. Tape saturation. Get out of the way. Get out of the way, you.
Go for blood! No more acting all innocent! Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent! Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent! Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent!
I think I like the way it was.
Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent! Kill the blood!
Or so slightly.
Go for blood! No more acting all innocent!
It's like barely kissing that saturation point, so I like that.
Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent! Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent! Kill the blood! Go for blood! No more acting all innocent!
Okay, I think I like that. I think this is what we're gonna do. From here on out. Use this little chain of ours. Copy and paste like no one's business on this.
One fly!
Oops. Forgot. We need to do that for all these tracks. Since, yeah. Yeah, the thing is that screams, I would say, are probably one of the easiest vocals to mix. At least if you've got like someone who's screaming correctly and doing it the more orthodox method, I should say, as how most people would scream at least. It can be pretty easy. The only thing is that it's just a lot of plugins, but it's like the same thing. Um, and as you can see, it's just copy and paste from here. Um, and I wish Mixcraft had a function where I can just copy and paste every like these plugin chains. Can I do that? No, I don't think I can. Yeah, that's the thing. So it's a little bit more tedious for me. I wish I can just like copy and paste the entire chain, but unfortunately not. Oh, and then after this, we'll go ahead and map out what we can do for the mapping of like all the scream vocals, so that it's like not hindering the guitar path. And what I mean by that is, so that like we can have these vocals go stereo, but not interfere with too much of the guitars. That's my main thing, because since this is metal, we want to really still have that instrumentation come through and be pretty gnarly in that sense. So, um, that is the plan, Stan. But yeah, it's all very straightforward with all of this, especially with like saturation. I used to remember like asking like, well, how much saturation is like needed or whatever. It's like, I like to do it to where it's just like either a good amount where it's like it feels like it's pushing it, but also at the same time, like, how should I say, barely kissing that distorted distortedness so that I can get those harmonics. Do that. Copy and paste this number so I can just be faster about this. Boom. Have to make sure these are all the same volumes, or else we have I'm gonna have a bad time with volume control. It's already gonna be pretty more intense in regards to volume control because we're gonna be panning and stuff, and that's gonna typically like it might peak. We're gonna try to not have that in these gain stagings. Okay. Okay. So we've got all of these. Let's start with our high screams, and let's go ahead and put in a sub track for these high screams. Yeah. Let's go ahead and be pretty organized with this stuff. No, let's not just do it with the high screams. So yeah, this is what like it looks like whenever I work on um my vocals and how I map things out and how I get things organized. Everything has their own little buses. Oh, mid screens 3. Okay, put these in here. I know there was more than one. 3. And I'm guessing this is 4. Let's ah, you like to make my life hard. I think it's I4. Yeah, okay, cool. I just needed to be sure. And then these low supportive screams. I'll get these out. They don't belong in the mid scream bus. Cool. Low screams. Put those in there. We've got a lot of low screams. What the helly? Cool. Now that we've got that going on, we'll go ahead and mute these and try to see what's a good volume placement for these vocals and panning placement, really. I like to have these like just hugging the main vocal just barely. So let's go ahead and But like 16% to the left, 16% to the right. What does that look like? Literally just that. Almost 20, but let's see. Go ahead and word these down just in case.
Down for blood! Every day we go
Oh, these are mid screams. What the heck? Or are they?
down for blood!
No, they're not. They're just very up there. So let's go ahead and bring that back up. Actually, let's go ahead and take these off. We don't need these. We want to keep them thick as much as we can. I just want to do vocal stuff.
Down for blood!
We can push them out just a little bit more.
Down for blood!
I like that already.
Down for blood! Every day we go digging our down for blood! Every day.
Okay, I like that. Next. I like to have these like 50% usually. But we'll see where we really end up with.
Down for blood! Down for blood! Every day we go digging our own grave. No more acting all innocent. Playing with fire. Set them up. Close to the power that we create. Break through the choir.
Those are pretty good. I kind of like the placement there.
Oh no! Down for blood! Every day we go digging our own grave.
I like that. So far, so good. That's not too bad. And then the slow screams, I actually like to push them out a little bit more. So like they'll be at 50% usually. Push them out just at 66. You really want, I'm more of a low scream kind of guy. So I really like it when I can hear those lows just come in. Or they have like more favorability. Just in general, really. Let's see how this goes.
Down for blood! Every day we go digging. Down for blood! Every day we go digging. Down for blood!
Oh, that's a loud one if the gate's not picking that up. I like that.
Down for blood! Playing with fire! Playing with fire! Set them up! Close to the power that we create. No more singing where heaven stands. Break through the choir.
Just like that. I like that. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. I like how everything's placed. Yeah, that's pretty good, I would say. I like that. Let's make a little main bus track. Forgot to do that. Pray for my friggin' CPU, dude. Oh my lord. I can already see like the amount of plugins I'm gonna have to use just for screams. And then it's gonna be even more so for the clean vocals. Gosh dang. That's okay. We'll figure it out one way or another. This is what we got. So these are very much like your basics in mixing. If you got this down, you're pretty much 50% there usually. but then comes the bus processing and reverb and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and do just that, bus processing. So immediately I think let's go ahead and get a bus compressor on this.
For blood! 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 For blood!
Those dang things of the rendering.
For blood! For blood! For blood! For blood! For blood! For blood! Yeah, the mud! 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 Yeah. Get the mud! Get the mud! Get the mud!
Oh, turn that off.
Yeah, the mud! 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 Yeah, the mud!
Let's try to find something that has S's in it. Is there anything with S's? I think there's Endless Pain. It's F. Okay, so no, not really.
Having fun! Having fun! Having fun!
Well, okay, so there's no really like, well,
Yeah, the mud! For blood! Yeah, for blood!
my thoughts right here is, do we even need to use Soothe? And I'm starting to think not really. But let's see how just bad the Fs are. If the Fs are kind of crazy,
Yeah, for blood! Yeah, for blood! Yeah, for blood! Yeah, for yeah, for blood! Yeah, for blood! Yeah, for blood! Yeah, for blood! Yeah, for blood!
how do you go about back vocals, mixing them into the main vox? Do you put reverb on them, and how much? Um, so if we're talking about backing vocals like these support screams, or just cleans in general, what I do, usually I get the entire bus, and let's just say, like, I'll go ahead and compare these two, your main screams and your support screams. So these are your mains. I'll put to the left, and these are the backing vocals to the right. And I'll go ahead just for this demonstration for now, I'll even turn these off. Um, okay, so you hear that. And what I'll do is I'll look to see what's more like poking out more for the main screams.
Every day we go dig it, jump for blood. Every day we go dig it, jump for blood. Every day we go dig it, jump for blood.
So that's about right. So about like 1 to 2K in between there, like right here. That sticks out a little bit more. So what I'll do is I'll go into my support screams. I'll turn these on.
Every day we go.
And I'll go ahead and put in, I think I saw like 1.68. I'll go ahead and go over here. Start out flat.
Go dig it, jump for blood. Every day we
I'll
go
scoop
dig
it out a little
jump for
bit.
blood. Every day we go dig it, jump for blood. Every day
Because what that essentially does, and that's the first step that I do pretty much for the most part. This is probably one of the more important steps, I would say, because once you take out that little dip for the support screams, you make room for your main screams or vocals in general. Like I'm talking about screams right now because I'm working on those, but vocals in general, what I'll do is just that move right there, because that allows the like room for the main vocal to be in, because you have all these like frequencies that are fighting for the same spot as the main vocal, and it kind of gets in the way. Holy shit, you're a genius. Didn't even think about doing that with the EQ. That's my first thing that I do. And this is not me. Like I didn't figure this out on my own, so just I can't take credit for that. Learned that from Hardcore Studios. I remember seeing that. I was like, oh, that is genius. Yeah. So it's a good move. It really does help, because oftentimes I hear like covers and stuff or mixes that you can hear everything, but everything kind of sounds like way too much harmony or whatever. And after that, I'll go ahead and start blending it in with reverb and stuff. So let's do that right now. Let's go ahead and do that. Since you asked the question, it doesn't even hurt to do reverb right now. So on straightforward stuff like this, so like I don't know if you heard the track earlier, but the track is this. Let me go ahead and unsolo everything and mute the vocals. And there's a lot going on. So this is what the vocals will sound like. So there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff going on. So what that tells me as a mixer, we do not need delay. Delay is for like, if you really want to make those vocals like sound like they're in an otherworldly dimension, and that is not the case right now. What we just want is a healthy amount of reverb. And I like that I'm able to show or mix this on stream, because a lot of people will think like, oh, I need delay and reverb, but that is almost not necessarily the case for a lot of instances like this one, especially when their pieces are like fast. So what I'll do, I'll go into voices, I'll go into the buses. So for example, reverb, I'll put 100%, send it into the bus, the reverb bus for my main screams, my main vocal. My support screams, I'll do the same thing, at least for now. And then we'll hear what that sounds like here.
Go digging narrow ground for blood. Every day we go digging narrow ground. No more acting, no for blood.
Okay, so what I like to do so that I get everything out of this,
Every day we go digging narrow ground. No more acting for blood. Every day we go digging narrow ground. No more acting for blood. Every day we go digging.
so right now I've got a 2-to-1 ratio, which is fine. You just want to be able to suck everything back, get all the characteristics as you can from those vocals. And then, personally, I like to hear what I'm like, in the mix. What I want is kind of a more gang vocal feel for these support screams. So I'm gonna put just a little bit more. Let's see what that does. I don't want that yet.
There we go digging for blood. There we go digging our grave. No more
Maybe back this off, the main
There we
vocal,
go digging our grave.
a little bit.
For blood. There we go digging our
So from there, now that there's like a emphasis on those vocals, we're gonna see what kind of reverb I'm gonna go for. Mm. Let's see. What kind of presets do we have? I'm trying to make it sound nice. There, and it's not sounding nice right now. I kind of like this chaotic chamber. And I put a low, like, what is it? A high pass filter, basically, around 320 hertz. I don't like for my reverb to sound very muddy at all. And let's see what that sounds like in context. Okay, so I like that immediately, but we're gonna go ahead and healthily put that in.
digging our grave. No more action for blood. There we go digging our grave. No more action for blood. There we go digging our grave.
Put that like that. See how that sounds. I like that. I like that a lot already. And that's basically how I do that with the backup vocals. It's like, reverb and how much I would apply it versus the main vocal. And then EQ. And I guess you could put the compressor over here instead. Get as much reverb as you can. I don't like doing that, but by the way, oh, you're so right. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. My bad. Yeah, I'm liking how it's sounding. I like how it sounds so far. So it's not too bad. I think I'm gonna leave the reverb and stuff like this for now. But I will be muting it for the time being, just so I can save CPU. But yeah, these EQ moves right here for the buses, these are I'll go ahead and get to these once I do. But that's basically what I do. I make space with the support screams and everything, and I duck out that frequency that the main vocals are mostly in, and that usually helps me really have those main vocals be a little bit more prominent and sit better with all those support screams or support vocals and stuff like that. And I'll do the exact same moves with like these clean vocals later on. But yeah. So let's get to where we were at and get tape saturation.
For blood! Down 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 for blood!
I like that amount. And then put a limiter on there. Oh, you can make forwarders just like in Reaper. That's cool. Yeah, it's I make a bunch of folders. I'm organized in the sense that I had to have everything somewhere in particular. but I'm not organized in the sense like I don't like doing color coding, or sometimes I'm not too picky on like what I title this. Sometimes be like I'll remember, like I'll put zippity doodah screams or whatever, or zippity doodah. I know what a zippity doodah is in my head. I don't know. It's a little weird like that, but yeah.
Out for blood! Out for blood! Out for blood!
And I like limiting my vocals. Do not be deceived whenever people say like, "Oh, the vocal is like my dynamic thing," so don't put too much. Let it run free. Basically, it's like, no, you staple those things down. I don't know anyone that at least like that I like as an influence, really in general, let vocals run free as they want in terms of volume and stuff. I limit that stuff, man.
Out for blood! Out for blood! Out for blood!
Yeah, just like that. Cool. And I'll pretty much do the same, make the same moves. I'll go ahead and mute these though, and start over with this, because it might be staple them. Roger that. Yeah, exactly.
Out for blood!
Yeah, that's my pet peeve. Some people just are just so shy with compression. It's like, no, compression is what makes the mix, man. Heart, thank you for the heart, Kirito Kun.
Out for blood! 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 Out for blood!
Okay, I like that. That was pretty good. Where was this at before?
Out for blood! Out for blood!
Okay, we're there. And then like what I like to do is I like to get all these vocals, turn that off,
Out for blood!
and mix them in.
Out for blood! Out for blood! Out for blood!
See, whenever you're doing this, you might have like maybe only 2 vocals going on, and so you don't think you'd need compression or whatever, or like mix them in. But like literally this mixing knob just right now, when I was comparing them, it made it a little bit more full. Don't ask me how or why. It just does. That's what my ear hears.
Out for blood! 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 Out for blood!
And put a little bit more saturation there.
Out for blood! 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 Out for blood!
Just like that. Cool.
Out for blood! Out for blood! Out for blood! Out for blood!
Oh, you know what I forgot? Something super important. Take this off. We don't need these on these vocals. It's unnecessary. The only reason why those are there is to make the illusion that you have more vocals when you already only have like 1.
Out for blood!
Yeah. I like that. That sounds cool. Copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Turn off everything and start over.
You're for blood! 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 You're for blood!
Okay. And we'll see what that does. Mixing them in.
Out for blood! Out for blood! Out for blood!
Okay. Soothe.
You're for blood. You're for blood. Blood.
So right here, I'm hearing like a little like gurgly sound within the vocals. So I'm just gonna put it that there. About 50% mix, 0 depth. Well, I don't even know what this means, but the more you put, the more Soothe does soothing. So
You're for blood.
I put that there just so that
You're for blood.
it's not
You're
as
for blood.
crazy. So I put that there. I should probably be doing this for the mid screams, but it wasn't that big of a deal. Then we look into what type of saturation we want or how much.
You're for blood. You're for blood. You're for blood. You're for blood. You're for blood.
I think that's okay. Barely kisses it.
You're for blood. 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 You're for blood.
Just like that.
You're for blood. You're for blood.
Cool. I like that. I like how that sounds. Now we get into what you were talking about, Kirito-kun, about how to make space for those main vocals. And this is basically how I would go about that. But first we have to do our usual compression, bus compression and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and find a spot where multiple main screams kind of converge into each other at some points. I feel like there's
I told everyone to pave the way. All these broken smiles, happy now. My last destruction. Last path. Chevy fall. I told everyone to pave the way. All these broken smiles. Last path. Pave the way.
okay. I think this is a good part to see about that compression.
All these broken smiles, happy now. My last destruction. Pave the way. All these broken smiles, happy now. My last destruction. Pave the way. All these broken smiles, happy now. My last destruction. Pave the way. All these broken smiles, happy now. My last destruction.
So I just have the release on auto. I have a super fast attack. Have it on 2-to-1 ratio instead this time around.
Pave the way. All these broken smiles, happy now. My last destruction. Pave the way. All these broken smiles, happy now. My last destruction. Pave the way. All these broken smiles, happy now. My last destruction. Pave the way. All these broken smiles, happy now. My last destruction.
I don't think we need any more soothe, but I will put more tape saturation.
Pave the way. All these broken smiles, happy now.
But it'll be barely doing anything at that point. And let's put a limiter.
My last destruction. Pave the way. All these broken smiles, happy now. My last destruction. Pave the way. All these broken smiles, happy now. My last.
Okay. Copy and paste, copy and paste. Might not be the same, but we're gonna figure this out. Go ahead. And let's go to a part that has absolutely like a lot of support vocals going on right here. Okay. And then Okay. Now we're getting to that point. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. We're going to go into EQ. And just like I said, so these are support screams on the right, main screams on the left. And we're just going to listen to that over and over again, what we just did. And we're going to see where this main vocal lies. We're going to mute this real quick. So I think it's right here around 1.37. We'll go ahead and unmute everything and see how that sounds in the mix. Turn off. That seems about right. 1.3, I'd say. 1.36. I think it was a 1.36. Okay, anyway. So we know where that main local lies. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. Go into solo for Vic Screams. I am Vic. Put that there. We're going to try to dip as much as we can out without touching the vocal. You don't really have to do a lot. Did you put the EQ on the bus for main vocals or directly on the main Vox? So I put the EQ on the bus for the main vocals. However, that's only for referencing. You don't have to put the EQ. It was on the main bus. Especially, I do that on the main bus because that's essentially what people are going to hear. And like, you know, let's just say you have two vocals going it at the same time. You'd also want to put it there and see like where are the parts that are poking out, and just kind of like go into that other EQ on the bus of the support screams. Yeah. Okay. And then yeah, so I put it over here, and there's a lot like maybe minus 1.1 dB of where that pocket is for right here, and dipped it out, and now I think it makes more room for those main vocals to come through and sit in. And we can even put that reverb that we did earlier. Okay, I'm starting to think that reverb is a little bit too much. So we're going to go ahead and back off on the support screams on that reverb. And we're going to, it was at 150, so we'll try 125. Go down a quarter. Let me see something. Maybe it's just too much reverb in general. Yeah, it's a small thing, but it, like you said, it makes a noticeable difference in that mix. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna put more scream, main scream into it, and support scream. The trophy, hell yeah. I'm still thinking it's a little muddy, so I'm gonna go ahead and put an EQ on that reverb. Maybe not. Maybe we can just take that out. 430, 480 hertz.
For blood, there we go digging our own grave. No more acting all innocent, playing with fire. Get the blood, lost to the power that we crave. No more thinking we're heaven sent. Preach to the choir. Blood, there we go digging our own grave. No more acting all innocent, playing with fire. Get the blood, lost to the power that we crave.
You can EQ reverb too. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I don't necessarily do it with an EQ. I just kind of go in here, do the actual reverb plugin that I have here, and I just use the moves like that. Yeah, dude, it's a game changer, really. Like a lot of the times, like vocals will hear like you'll hear like major reverb, but sometimes that's because it just has too much muddy frequencies. So I just go in and just get that high pass filter, which is called low cut in Valhalla Vintage Verb, and I just crank it to like as much as like 380 to maybe 480 hertz right there. Right now I'm just using the 380 right now. And I think it's fine. Actually, I'll put it up to 430. Yeah.
For blood, there we go digging our own grave. No more acting all innocent, playing with fire. Get the blood, lost to the power that we crave. No more thinking we're heaven sent. Preach to the choir. For blood, there we go digging our own grave. No more acting all innocent, playing with fire. Get the blood, lost to the power that we crave. No more thinking we're heaven sent. Preach to the choir.
So I think, is it the reverb that's sticking out too much? Maybe limiting is what I need. I don't know. Something's sticking out.
For blood, there we go digging our own grave. No more acting all innocent, playing with fire. Get the blood. For blood, there we go digging our own grave. No more acting all innocent, playing with fire. Get the blood. Lost to the power that we crave. No more thinking we're heaven sent. Preach to the choir. Empty vessel. Tell everyone to pave the way. All these broken smiles, happy now. My last destruction. My last destruction. What we say someday will be searched. All like to get about ourselves are good. The only way to live is change. Broken smiles, happy now. My last destruction.
It is a good song. It's crazy.
What we say someday will be searched. All like to get about ourselves are good. The only way to live. Come for blood. There we go digging our own grave. No more acting all innocent, playing with fire. Get the blood. Lost to the power that we crave.
Okay, so I'm ducking those support screams just a little bit in volume, but we'll be able to hear them back once we put on that bus compressor right here. Get a 2-to-1 ratio, I think. Ratio.
Come for blood. There we go digging.
So 4-to-1 ratio versus a 2-to-1 ratio, it's just how hard it's gonna compress. So at the initial like beginning stages of that vocal, you're gonna want to compress heavily. Like, do not worry about how much you're compressing. As long as it sounds good, you get it. You get that thing compressed. But as you go on and you add the compression to buses and stuff, you don't really need it. You still need it, but you don't need it as much as starting out. So right now, I'm going with 2-to-1 compression ratios at the moment, and faster attack times, auto release, and stuff like that.
No regret, no more acting all innocent, playing with fire. Get the ball, come for blood. There we go, digging no regret, no more acting all innocent, playing with fire. Get the ball, come for blood. There we go, digging no regret, no more acting all.
I really want that to act out with the group vocals, really.
Come for blood. There we go, digging no regret, no more acting all innocent, playing with fire.
I like that. So I'm gonna do here. What does that sound like without the compressor?
Come for blood. There we go, digging no regret, no more acting all innocent, playing with fire. Get the ball. Come for blood. There we go, digging no regret, no more acting all innocent, playing with fire. Get the ball. Come for blood. There we go, digging no regret, no more acting all innocent, playing with fire. Get the ball. Come for blood. There we go, digging no regret, no more acting all innocent, playing with fire. Get the ball. To the power that we crave, no more thinking where heaven sends, breaks down the choir. Come for blood. There we go, digging no regret, no more acting all innocent, playing with fire. Get the ball. To the power that we crave, no more thinking where heaven sends, breaks down the choir. Come for blood. There we go, digging no regret, no more acting all innocent, playing with fire. Get the ball. To the power that we crave, no more thinking where heaven sends, breaks down the choir. Come for blood. There we go, digging no regret, no more acting all innocent, playing with fire. Get the ball. To the power that innocent, playing with fire. Get the ball. To the power that we crave, no more thinking where heaven sends, breaks down the choir. Come for blood. There we go, digging.
So this is like a really important thing too, is to limit like compression and limiting is super important for vocals, especially with like, harder stuff like this. Again, you really want to staple those vocals down. So, think of it kind of like crowd control. You want where your crowd to go and not to get too crazy. And it's the same thing with vocals. You don't want your vocals all of a sudden to jump at you in volume. I think that's like one of the worst things that can happen in a mix and kind of kills it. It's the same thing as like if a transient is like way too like pokey, like it just hits you in the face and it's like, whoa, what happened? So it really helps, especially with support vocals. Because you'll be able to still hear everything, but it's not gonna go like that. Volume is not gonna all of a sudden jump out at you like here. It's not gonna pass this right here where my arrow's at. It's gonna stay there. It increases in volume, but not too crazy, not too much, to where it's just like the listener's like, oh, what the fuck. So, and I think we've got the screams down pretty good. I think what we can do is actually play with the volume just a little bit more. the goal is to basically like have the guitars a bit more. And I already heard some parts that I would want to poke out just a little bit more in terms of volume so you can hear what I'm saying. But we'll leave that to the later stages of automating and stuff like that. What you want right now is a good, solid foundation for your vocals to be sounding with. So now that we're done with this, I'm going to completely mute that. We're not going to need that. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus on Momo. I've linked her channel in the pinned comment. If you'd like to check her and her stuff out, please do so. She's an amazing vocalist. One of the best to do it right now, in my opinion. She's insane. She's insane, and she's very very kind as well. I've had a good time, working with her on different stuff. I even worked on a cover with her and another person named Krovi. Let me go ahead and shout him out real quick too. They've got a new cover out that I was able to have the honor and privilege of mixing for them. And man, it's a bob. It's by the same band that Momo and I are going to cover in this one right now. Boom. That's Crowy's channel. For that, you'd volume automate. Yes, I'd volume automate. If I want specific parts to come out a little bit clearer, than the other ones that, or like if they're getting lost in the instrumental, I would go ahead and volume automate on well, depending what it is, but right now it was just the main vocals because there wasn't any other vocals going on. It would be on this big bus of the Vic screams, the big bus, all of it. That encompasses all the screams and everything. But yeah, I would volume automate that. Oh yeah. Mains. And since these are doubles, we'd go ahead and put another submix in here for main double BBL. Okay, we got that in there. And then we start organizing these harmonies. So we've got, I like to see my high harmonies first and foremost. These are high harm 2s. Put that in there. Low harm 2. Okay, cool. We'll put high harms. Boom, boom. And we'll get specific and put harm 1 bus. Put those in there. And take this out. harm 2. Put that in there. And we're making it so that harm 1 and harm 2 are under the high harms bus. And they're in their own buses respectively. And we'll go ahead and do the same approach with the low harms. So all low harms go under one bus. And then we'll make respective buses for low harm 1 and low harm 2. Boom, boom. Oh, I think I only put harm 1 and harm 2, so I'm going to put harm 1. Harm 2. Put that in there. Boom. Right? Yeah. Yeah, I did that. Okay. Again, they're in their respective buses, all under low harms. And let's go ahead and start working on Momo's main vocal. And this is how cracked she is. Look, watch this, watch this, watch this.
Just to say we can build it all up, just to say we dare to live forever. Ain't gotta can to live forever.
Fantastic singer. Fantastic singer. Go ahead and mute all these buses for her. And what we're gonna start with the Harrison. Oh, vocal flow. What's the vocal flow? I think I wanted Howard Benson. I accidentally put Howard Harrison, but I want to see what this Harrison vocal flow is. I didn't even know I had this. I see. Interesting. It's the same thing, but just a lot more complicated in the UI. Yeah, she's a crazy vocalist. Very, very good. Okay. So what I usually do with this, I turn off everything first. Solo the vocal. And I get a part where
Just to say we can build it up.
she's singing. Or they're singing, like a main vocal. And what I do is I like this function. Shift, double click, and play the vocal.
Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up, just to say we dare.
And it analyzes how much input that it would put in and for that little sweet spot.
Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up, just to say we dare.
Okay, so next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to unsolo these or solo this and solo the final mix or the instrument.
Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up, just to say we dare. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up, just to say we dare. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up, just to say we dare. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up, just to say we dare. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up, just to say we dare.
So remember how I said like literally do not care about how much compression you're doing? I'm doing a 18 by like 1 ratio right now. It seems like I'm doing 100%.
Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up, just to say we dare.
Let me see what's the difference between the tube warmth and the final and without it.
Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up, just to say we dare.
That's a little bit more distortion.
Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up, just just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can build it up.
And another good thing about this plugin is that it's got a little de-esser here, and you can even like solo it and hear just how much like what they're de-essing.
Tear it all down just to say we can build it up.
Okay, go ahead and mute that.
Just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can build it up. Just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can build it up. Just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can build it up. Just to say we did.
Okay, so I like that. I like how that sounds. I've got some tube warmth going on, that tube saturation, as it says down over here. Calibrate the input for the amount of compression. I'm snapping down that compression. I put the auto makeup for the gain. I find that pretty handy. I just want to be able to manipulate this for volume, not necessarily this. I don't really care. I'm not using the opto mode, where engage for a smoother, less aggressive compression. No, I want it to be aggressive. I want this song to be hella aggressive. So, and I've got the de-esser going down on almost 50%. It's 45.5%. And the grit for distortion, about 21%. And now I'm going to head into the EQ, which you saw me do a little bit of EQ, or you might have not. But over here, instead of parametric, I like doing, I usually like doing vocals with EQ like this, where you're not seeing what you're doing. You're just hearing what you're doing. And that's the important part. I like doing that. And I like this little button, the pre-comp, because whatever EQ moves that you do, it's going to be put before the compressor, not after. I know it looks like it's after here, but once you press this button, it's going to be before. And I like that because whenever you're EQing, you're adding volume to that EQ. And well, I don't want to add volume. I just kind of want the vocal to be stapled down. So one of the first things I heard was that it's a little muddy. So let's go ahead and address that real quick.
Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we did.
Okay. So what I like doing whenever I want to figure out what needs what of how much or whatever, I like being really dramatic and getting that gain knob and all the way, especially if I'm doing it before a compressor. I can be able to get away with that, and find like what's most of what. So I'm finding most of that muddiness to be in the 405 hertz section. And I don't do a bell. I already got a high pass filter going on, which takes out all the low end unnecessary EQing, or rather sub vocals. And I'm going to just go ahead and use dipping stuff here. So I'm going to listen to it again.
Tear it all down just to say we can build it up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can build it up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can build it up.
An important thing that a lot of people mistake with, again, is just taking out all the low end and just leaving nothing but mid-range or high mid-range and top shelf type of sparkle on a vocal. And it's like, I understand it, but your vocals are not going to sound full like that at all. That's the one thing that I've learned that really kind of blew my mind, that the difference between a good vocal and, a poor vocal a lot of times is they just really take out a lot more low end than needs to be. So I want to keep some of that low end still for that warmth.
Tear it all down just to say we can.
Because I'm gonna brighten it anyway, so it's gonna PEMDAS cancel itself out. But for this kind of stuff, for brightening it up, I do like using a bell.
Build it up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it up just to say we did.
So I brighten it up by 2.2 dB with a bell at 8,000 hertz. And if you want to see like what that might look like in a parametric sense, let's see what this looks like before the high pass.
Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down.
Well, that high
just to
pass is not
say
doing
we
anything, is
can.
it?
Build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we.
Anyway, supposedly it's supposed to be doing something, but basically, so we got 8,000. Gonna put it at 8, and we've got it at 2.2 decibels of increase. Then we've got minus 3 dB at 405. And we got minus, was it 3? 3.3. Even more so. Get out of here. I don't need you right now. Oopsie. So that's essentially what it looks like if I had to put like a high filter pass.
We can build it all up just to say we did.
It'd be like that.
Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to.
So basically whatever I did here is it would look like this almost a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't tell me what kind of bell or how much Q there is, but if anything I've learned is that sometimes you might want to just take out a little bit more of the high mids, you know, around here or something. But we don't need that right now. We're pretty good right here.
Say we did.
I like how this sounds.
Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can.
And then the multiplier, which is basically a chorus effect that makes it a fake double.
Build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it up.
I do it at 12% because I want the offset to be like pretty apparent. Hey, I'm glad you're liking it too. So I'm not being crazy. I like it when people tell me that like hey, they like it too because I'm not being crazy. Hell yeah. Yeah, so I put the offset like just a crazy amount of chorus, and but the amount is kind of like a dry wet knob. Only 12%. Only 12% to where it's like you can barely hear that chorus signal hit the stereo of your earphones or your speakers or whatever.
Up just to say we did. Tear it all down
Off.
just to say we
On.
can. Build it all up just to say we did.
You can especially hear it a little bit at the very end of the vocal. So, and a little bit of width doesn't hurt anyone. I keep it at 100% range. Not gonna lie, I crank my chorus all the way up. I'm chorus addicted. You know what? And sometimes that works. Or like again, it depends on the mix. Sometimes a lot of people like to crank it up, like you said. Like I think, for example, I don't know if you ever try this or you even work with instruments at all on a mix, but I think it was my Override remix. I had put chorus on my bass on the top end of my bass to really get that fuller a fuller bass. You know, I wanted it on both stereos. I didn't want it up the middle, so I used the chorus, and it's essentially kind of honestly sometimes a better width thing going on, if that makes sense. No, it chorus. I love chorus. I especially like chorus on my guitars and stuff like that. Hell yeah.
Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up
And I put a little bit stereo. Let's see how that sounds with the everything.
just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did.
Okay, I think I like that.
Tear it all down just to
What did I do over here on these? I did soothe virtual tape limiter. Okay, cool. Going to soothe those harsh frequencies again. And this, and I like to accentuate those harsh frequencies. Jesus Christ. And kind of take them out. Yeah.
tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did.
I used to be really bad with my S's, with the de-essing and stuff, until I figured out that I can just use soothe, and then, oh my god, it changed my freaking world, man. It really did change my world for the better. It was so good. I love it.
Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did.
With that much virtual tape, and add a limiter, because we love limiting, we love stapling down shit.
Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did.
Sonable. I've actually never heard of Sonable. Let me search that up real quick. Sonable. Oh. I like the UI on their stuff. Ooh, that looks nice. I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. I like that. I really like that. Yeah, I really like it whenever I can see whatever, you know, I'm de-essing and stuff. That's why I really like Soothe as a de-esser. Thank you for bringing that up. That looks really cool. Do you know how much it is, or if it costs anything?
Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did. Down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we
crazy. We're gonna put this at -13 dB. We're gonna put that for everything on the individual tracks at least. So the high C. Oh, crazy! Gotcha. Dang. I love it whenever like the fruits of your labor works out like that though. Did you like so whenever you say you got it for free, did you like pirate it or or was it like a just like a sweet deal that they had going on or something? Okay. Copy and paste. Pirated, cracked. Cracked. That's the word that I wanted to look for. Gotcha. Hey man, if it works, it works. Hell yeah. It must now that I'm thinking about it. The whole bundle? Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, man. If it works, it works. Good for you, man. That only tells me that it's it's probably expensive. I'm not gonna be able to buy it. I have a thing where it's like I'm scared. I'm scared of like getting cracked plugins and stuff like that. Uh or just like free shit in general. Oh, I get so scared because it's like, oh, what if I download a virus? I say that because I'm not smart at all with my computer. That's the thing. I just be downloading shit sometimes and just be like, you know what? McAfee can just, figure it out for me. Hopefully. Okay. Let's see where we're at here.
We can build it all up just to say we did. To live
So, if we've got doubles, this is what I do. I mute these, actually.
tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we did.
Actually, let's go ahead and
Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we did. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we did. To live forever, playing God again. To live forever. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we did. To live forever. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we did. To live forever, playing God again. To live forever, tear it all down.
So, what I usually do for doubles and stuff, I will go ahead and crank it till the very ends of my ears sometimes. But I think I like how this thickens up a little bit more closely in regards to stereo, and keep it close. So I kind of like that. No, it's definitely scary, but really, if you stick to the trusted stuff, you're fine. Like, who's got $1,500 for RX-11? So correct that too. Yeah, but w- that would be way more powerful in hands of someone experienced like you. Maybe. I don't know. I just feel like I'm a little guy. I'm just like you. I'm just trying to figure shit out. But in regard, that's really tempting, especially with the RX-11, because like I know I could do good with like, that would get me a little bit more commissions, because I already know this one person that has a USB mic, and I know that would do me good if I'm able to like, repair vocals and stuff like that, like that. But yeah, $1,500, is that what it is? I didn't even like, I think I looked at it one day, and immediately it was just like I saw a bunch of zeros. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't got the money for that. Hell no. 1,500. That's crazy, man. Yeah, hey, I think if I'm able to buy it, if I'm able to crack it, I'll have to think about that.
Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did. To live forever. Playing God again. To live forever.
If you want it, I'm here. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to think about that. It's super tempting, to say the least. Super duper tempting. But I thank you for the offer. Thank you. Yeah.
Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did. To live forever. Playing God again. To live forever.
Yeah, I think I like the doubles where they're sitting at right here.
Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did.
Cool. Up next, the high harms. We'll map those, see where they'd lie with all the box. Boff! There's people who don't even know how to use RX and have bought it. Couldn't be me. I understand it completely. Dude, that's... Yeah, I've seen a little bit of like not tutorial, but like what it can do. And sometimes it really does, like, I don't know. There's even like this graph that I have no idea what the fuck I'm looking at, man. I have no idea. So crazy.
To live forever.
Okay. Where do we map these?
Playing God again. To live flowers in the desert, blossoming in vain. Angels with no feathers, falling far from grace. Flowers in the desert, blossoming in vain. Angels with no feathers, falling far from grace.
What are these other harms? They're right here. So we got these here, 50%, 50%. Sound make cool colors on. Yes, that's basically what translates whenever like I fucking see them like just use it. And it's like, okay, that looks cool, but I don't know what the fuck to do with that.
Just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we did. To live forever. Playing God again. To live forever.
10.4. Oh, I see.
We did. To live forever. Playing God again. To live forever.
Okay, I think I like it there. Yada yada yada. Rada rada rada.
Flowers in the desert.
Let's see how that sounds with the actual instrumental.
Flowers in the desert, blossoming in vain. Angels with no feathers, falling far from grace. To live forever, playing God again. To live forever.
I think I like that. Where are we gonna want these low harms? Solo this.
Flowers in the desert.
Try that. Oh, I thought it was at 10.4.
Blossoming in vain, angels with no feathers, falling far from grace.
Oh, I like it, and that's when it's near my ears.
Like flowers in the desert, blossoming in vain, angels with no feathers, falling far from grace.
Vocal mix is sounding sick so far. Yeah, thank you, dude. I've been really like trying to like lock in with the fucking vocal mixing. I'm glad you guys are like really digging this mix, because again, like I've been trying so hard to study up on like what the fuck to do with vocal mixing, because that was like my weakest strong suit at some point. And yeah, I'm glad it's starting to sounding, you know, pretty good so far.
Tear it up, ever, playing God.
Oh, that's too loud. 11.5. See what that does there.
Forever, playing God again. To live forever.
I like how that sounds.
Tear it all down
Go.
just to say we can build it up.
How's y'all's day so far, by the way? I'm so bad at asking that question whenever I see people in the chat. How's y'all day so far?
Flowers in the desert, blossoming in vain, angels with no feathers, falling far from grace. Flowers in the desert, blossoming in vain, angels with no feathers, falling far from grace. Flowers in the desert, blossoming in vain, angels with no feathers, falling far from
I
grace.
think I like that balance.
It all down just to say we can build it up just to say we dare to live forever, playing God again. To live forever,
Maybe a little bit more high.
forever, playing God again. To live forever.
Tired from work, but kind of okay. Oh man, dude, work days are killer. I feel that. But I hope you're able to just kind of like chill out and just, you know, if you want to grab a beer. I don't know what you're into, but yeah. Hopefully that it gets better from here and that you're able to just rest your bones, man. Rest your bones. My day has been pretty good. It started out pretty good. Was able to get a good morning from the GF and everything, so that pretty much starts my day right. And well, it's been my day off from work, so extra stoked about that. So pretty good. Band practice is canceled kind of since people are getting sick. Oh shit. I wonder if like, is it like a thing going around where you're at, dude? Hope it's like, you know, not too bad. Like, I don't think, like, you guys got anything coming up? Because, you know, I hope everything gets better by then. But yeah. Yeah, fine. But other than that, it's been chill. Good. Hope yours been good. Yeah, mine's been pretty good. I can't complain. Today's been a good day. I've been really enjoying myself.
Flowers in the desert, blossoming in vain, angels with no feathers, falling far from grace.
Oh, I forgot to make a track for just all harmonies.
Tear it all down just to say we can build it up just to say we dare to live forever, playing God again. To live forever. Tear it all down just to say we can. It all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we dare to live forever. Playing God again. To live forever.
Isn't that crazy? I'm really liking how that's coming out. Cool. Let's get into, I guess, some buzz processing. Let's get a little bit of a buzz compression into here.
Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we
A 2-to-1 ratio.
forever.
Faster attack.
Ain't got again to live forever.
0.3.
Tear it all
Auto release.
down just to say we can build it all up just to say we dare to live forever. Plain God again to live forever. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we dare to live forever. Plain God again to live forever.
Cool. And tape.
Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we dare to live forever.
We don't need that much
Plain
saturation right here,
again to live forever.
but we do need a limit.
Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we dare to live forever. Plain God again to live forever. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all
Same thing here.
up just to say we dare to live forever. Plain God again to live forever. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we dare to live forever. Plain God again to live forever. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we dare to live forever. Plain God again to live forever. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we dare to live forever. Plain
Like that there. Tape.
God again to live forever.
Just a little bit.
Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we dare
Actually,
to
cut some
live
soothe. I forgot about that.
Plain God again to live forever. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all
Get those S's.
just to say we dare to live forever. Plain God again to live forever. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we dare to live forever.
Around there.
Plain God
And
again
limit.
to live forever.
Micro limiter.
Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we dare to live forever. Plain God again to live forever. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we dare to live forever. Plain God again to live forever. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say we dare to live forever. Plain God again to live forever. Tear it all down just to say we can build it all up just to say.
Okay, I think that's good right there. Arms. Do the same thing, but different to their needs. And keep that 2-to-1 ratio. We're gonna mess around with the attack a little bit and see what's what.
We dare to live forever. Ain't God again to live forever. Tear it all down
About
just to
1 to
say
3.
we can
dB of gain reduction, maybe more so 1 to 2.
To live forever, ain't got a care. To live forever, tear it all down just to say we can. To live forever, ain't got a care. To live forever,
Give it a 0.3.
tear
It's
it
cool.
all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we dare. To live forever, ain't got a care. To live forever, tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all
Okay, mix it in with the main vocals. Let's see what happens.
just to say we dare. To live forever, plain got a care. To live forever, tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we dare. To live forever, plain got
like that
a
there.
care. To live forever,
Soothe.
tear it all down just to say we can.
Right there.
Gotta get to live forever. Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we dare. To live forever. Plain gotta get to live forever. Tear it all down just to say we dare. To live forever.
Whoa.
Plain gotta get to live forever. Tear it down to live forever. Plain gotta get to live forever.
I like it right there. That sounds pretty cool.
Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we dare. To live forever. Plain gotta get to live forever. Like flowers in the desert, blossoming in vain. Angels with no feathers, falling far from grace. Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we dare. To live forever. Plain gotta get to live forever.
Cool. And then more bus processing. Last one to top it all off, really. And then we got virtual tapes. And then another limiter. Oh, also, important thing, I forgot. The EQing of it all. Actually, we don't need it there, we need it here. So let's go ahead and do that first.
Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we dare. To live forever. Plain gotta get to live forever. Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up.
So this one, we've got the vocals poking more so out in 2.6. So go over here and put this at 0 dB. And we're gonna duck out as much as we want.
Just to say we dare. To live forever. Plain gotta get to live forever. Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we dare. To live forever. Plain gotta get to live forever. Tear
I like that, yeah.
Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it all up just to say we dare. To live forever. Plain gotta get to live forever.
You're looking at the back harmonies. Yeah, it's the same. It's like what I've said in the screams. You just kind of want to make that little bit of a pocket so that that main vocal doesn't have to fight those frequencies as the same ones as the harmonies or the screams. Because if you really think about it, they're pretty, since they're the exact same voice, it's the exact same instrument. Your frequencies are gonna lie in there more so. So therefore, like, you should probably take those frequencies out. Even if they're playing different notes and stuff like that, it's not that much of a difference to make space. Exactly. Yeah. That's to make space. That was the goal. Yeah. I made notes. I'm glad that I'm helpful.
Flowers in the desert, blossoming in vain. Angels with no feathers, falling far from grace. Flowers in the desert, blossoming in vain. Angels with no feathers, falling far from grace. Flowers in the desert, blossoming in vain. Angels with no feathers, falling far from grace. Tear it all down just to say we can. Build it up
Hi.
just to say we
Oh.
can. To live forever, playing God again. To live forever.
Oh, we're not gonna put those screams in yet. I do not have the CPU right now. Yeah, no, my computer's fighting for its life right now.
Flowers in the desert.
But maybe in another stream I'll go ahead and, like, use the whole balancing thing, volume balancing. What should I cover more first? Should I cover the clean chants or the scream chants? What seems to be tickling the fancy as of right now that you would want to know, at least? I'll take a sip of coffee. Actually, I'll be right back. But please go ahead and put in chat what you think or what we want to do right now. Actually, I'll go ahead and put this on loop real quick so that it's not just silence. And then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Put that off. I forgot to put the little guy, my little guy, on. Anyway, uh, screams do tackle my fancy, but also clean ones. I decided the clean ones. Good choice. We actually might do a little bit of tuning, so you might get to see a little bit of that. Let's just, for CPU sake, actually, let's save this. And then we'll go ahead and just merge these real quick to save CPU. To save my CPU. Ooh. Ooh. I have some Red Lobster cheddar biscuits that I would want to make tonight. Actually, I had completely forgotten about them. I think I went like 2 days ago, so I'm gonna dig into those after stream maybe. Well, I think I might take a walk after stream and then eat some. They're so good. They were so good when I had them. So I'm hoping they're still good now. Dang, this is taking a long time. There we go. We back. So what I like doing here for these clean chants is map them out first. Let's go ahead.
Whoa!
Oh, that's loud. My bad. Lower this down a little bit.
Whoa!
There's some weird rendering artifacts. Give me 1 second. Let's go ahead and go into here and just cut off those things. The best feeling when you forget it and then you crave it and you have it. So you can make... It's actually, though, like I looked in my fridge just right now and I just saw them there. I was like, oh, that's right. Hell yeah, dude. Get some freaking Red Lobster rolls, bro. It really is. It's like almost the same feeling as like finding money that you've completely forgot that you had in like what, let's just say like your glove compartment in your car. That actually happened. Like I remember, like, well, not remember, but there was this one time where I found $100 bill in the glove compartment and I was like, yo, this is so sick. It was really good. Yeah, it was awesome. Anyway, what is this? $400, baby. Yeah, exactly. It was so sick. Okay, so now that I'm kind of mapped out these harmonies where I would want them and get a good blend of what exactly I would want these vocals to sound. Hold on, give me 1 second. There we go. That sounds nice. So I'm not gonna go in and do every individual channel. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to just process it on the bus. Actually, let's do it over here. Let's do it on a 4-to-1 ratio. Let's see what happens when you do 20. I like that actually. Where were we before in volume? Going up to the SO. Cool. See where we want it in volume wise. Let's put Momo's Vox in there too.
We've gone too far. Too far. We've gone too far.
Cool. And we're gonna go and EQ it. Put it before the compressor.
We've gone too far. Too far. We've gone too far.
Actually, let's see what happens if we pick one of the presets that we have here. Yeah, I like this preset. So we got that going on. Now, we're gonna kind of do what you like to do, Kirito-kun, and not necessarily have chorus, but have the Haas effect, which is basically the same thing, and go for, like, you know, some separation. That sounds like it without it.
We've gone too far. We've gone too far.
think that sits pretty comfortably there. Um, and then let's put in the reverb actually. Let's make its own reverb actually. Put like a crowd reverb or crowd effect. Let's see how this works out. Because an idea came to mind. We're gonna try to use the vocal multiplier from Howard Benson from JST Studios, and there's whatever. It's starting to sound a little bit better. Not quite there. There's a let's see. Let's just go through it. It didn't work out. Ah, yes, the shouts of the damned. It sounds like fucking hell, dude. Let's see what this does. Let's see what we have here for Verb Suite Classic. Oh, let's see what it is. Kind of like the dough. I don't know, cause the thing is that like, if it's hold on, let's see. Let me try to gather my thoughts. I didn't like it because it sounded like it was just too much. If that makes sense, it was too much an effect, and if I'm having, it's what I it's not too bad. That's horrible. Vocal room is not bad. Ooh. I'm kind of liking Vocal Heaven or Wide Rich Vocal Room. Let's see. No. See what that does.
We've gone too far. Now we're too far gone. We've gone too far. Now we're too far gone.
How about the K? Maybe it needs to be a little bit longer. Yeah, exactly. I think it's setting pretty good.
We've gone too far. Now we're too far gone. We've gone too far.
Maybe compress. Whoa, what did I do? What is this? I've never used this in my life. No, thank you. Maybe compress this to really get as much reverb as I can with that tail end. Whoa, 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 whoa. What had happened? Shh. You don't need that.
We've gone too far. We've gone too far. Now we're too far gone. We've gone too far.
Yeah, the thing is that I'm kind of balancing like the whole like how much do I want to hear the direct vocal versus the reverb and stuff like that. And so far, this is not too bad of a balance. And this is all it is really for chants and gang vocals. You just kind of map out where exactly you'd want it, how much volume of what vocals here from right from the start. Compress it, you EQ it, spread it with a stereo width or chorus or Haas like I have here, which is basically chorus, and reverb. I used to put it on the same bus, but I like sending it to Ascend, so that I have like a little bit better control of like what effects I can put on there, on the reverb and stuff like that. So see, I compressed it, and I use this volume as like a gain knob and stuff like that. Hello, my friend. It's been quite a hot minute. How's the Castlevania? I think 4 Dracula's theme cover coming along. I'm so sorry. I've completely forgotten about it. I'll be very honest with you. I've just been so caught up with literally everything else that I've got. I feel bad because like I also like have another I accidentally did it. Well, not accidentally. I did a follower instrumental giveaway. Trying to get my name out there as much as possible. But help me, help you, send a link to whatever you're talking about, because I'm still kind of confused on which it is, because I remember sending one link and you said it was wrong, it was another thing. So we've got this going on.
We've gone too far. Now we're too far gone. We've gone too far.
Okay, the next thing is our scream chants.
Will be saved! Sheldon King! Will be saved! Sheldon King! Will be saved! Will be saved! Seldom gain
I'm gonna do the same thing.
will be saved.
4:1 ratio.
Seldom gain
Actually, no, I think it was like 20.
will be saved. Seldom gain 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 will be saved. Seldom gain
Actually, I'm too ahead of myself.
will be saved. Seldom gain 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 will be saved. Seldom gain
EQ.
will be saved. Seldom gain 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 will
So I like this low preset for these background vocals. However, I'm hearing a little bit of muddiness here, so I'm gonna go ahead and address that real quick.
be saved. Seldom gain will be saved. Seldom gain
Cool. I like that. Put that in here.
will be saved. Seldom gain 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 will be saved. All I think about ourselves are good. What we say someday will be true. All I think about ourselves are good. The only way to live it. What we say someday will be true. All I think about ourselves are good. The only way to
Hmm. Let's try. Try to send link, but didn't work somehow. Weird. I don't have the moderation activity or anything like that. Super. Okay. I just picked the first one that came up. I'm gonna send it into chat. Let me know if that's it.
Will be saved! Seldom gain! The only way to live is stay! I will be strong! Like to be strong! Like to bound ourselves to good! Give us strength!
Okay, cool. Cool. I'm gonna put this in what can I'll just download it. Download it. Cool. I'll go ahead and yeah, I'll start working on it a little bit more seriously. Again, it's probably gonna be a little bit because I've got a lot of stuff going on. I know that it was way back, but I usually don't take requests. But because you were one of the first people that ever checked me out, I'm gonna go ahead and do that for you. But just please try to be a little bit more patient. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'll work on it. But thanks for stopping by, man. I really do appreciate it. Oh, CPU. I'm not 100% convinced. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Oh, yeah. Maybe bring these up a little bit more. I think in this part, how I would solve this is basically duck the volume on these parts on the main vocal, so that these background vocals, crowd vocals can shine through. I'll be using Cubase as my DAW in the future. That's a very good DAW. That's a very good choice of DAW, I'd say. So hell yeah, dude. That's a very good DAW. Yeah, the only reason why I use this is because I am a Neanderthal. I'm a little too dumb for Cubase or anything else. I need something that's like a little bit more UI friendly. What kind of music do you make actually, since you're doing Cubase?
Here we go digging our own grave. Vessels with no better use. Just look inside the mirror. Alright, what should we
Tear it up.
Well, I think that's my. Dang, that's unfortunate. my computer can't handle what else is going on. Man. Let's try to see what happens if I use everything. Yeah. I can't really work like this. Well, if that's going to be the case, I think I'm gonna have to call it here. I'm sorry, I'm thinking. I'm thinking if I should just end the stream real quick, restart my computer, and do a part 2 stream real quick, because I think it can be an easy issue to solve, to be honest. I think you'd like Reaper too. Reaper. I like Reaper. I especially like the timing capabilities to it. It's similar to what I'm using right now. It really is. However, I guess if I had more time with it, I'd feel a little bit more confident. But because I don't, it's still a little bit overwhelming for me. But I'm starting to learn about it a little bit more and more, because it's so similar. So it might be a thing for the future. So I think, so hear me out. I think I'm gonna go ahead and end stream right here for a little bit. I just need to restart my computer and see what happens. If it works, if everything works out, and if I'm able to hear everything, and so I'll bring you along and stuff, I'll go ahead and do so. And bring it, or rather, sorry, I'm kind of brain farting. I'll restart my computer, end the stream here, and if it works out, I'll go ahead and make another stream real quick as like a part 2, because we've only got so little left. But if it doesn't work, I guess I'll just leave the stream as is, or yeah, and just leave it on this note. Init Fan says orchestra, but probably doing different genres like symphonic metal, synthwave, etc. I've used Mixcraft for 4 years, so it's time for me to use another DAW. That'll be Cubase 15 elements / artist. Hell yeah, dude. Another Mixcraft user. Hell yeah. I'm gonna have to, yeah. I'll ask you a little bit later as to what was the what made you want to switch. So yeah, that's interesting, because I thought about switching to a different DAW, but as of right now, I have yet to have a good reason to do that for myself. But yeah, so I'll try to come back really quick, and if not, I hope y'all have a great day, and yeah. It was nice being on the stream. I learned new stuff. I'm glad you got something out of it, man. Thank you so much. This is why I do the streams. This is why I do the streams. I hope that everyone does learn, that anyone that comes by. So hell yeah. But yeah. Yeah, so everyone have a great day. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming by. I love you all. See y'all later.